to get trapped in ban prison right now, because Psycho Sid Zach has been really strong. In Vulcun versus TSM game, he was the sole tank initiator for them, and that's a very difficult role for them to play when they do that double AD composition. But Velocity's not going to let him do it.
They're taking out quite a few things here. Ari, Evelyn, and Shen. Assassinators are, please. They didn't ban out Nasus, though.
No.
It's kind of a shutdown to the comp.
I
We'll
just
have to see.
So, but
There's like deep breath. Gasp.
That could be a jungle Ezreal if Velocity is willing to be awesome. But that would also require them to go Janna mid lane, and it would require Vulcun to just kind of be nice and not pick a huge amount of early game wave clear. The Singe would make sense.
The gears.
York could kind of work as a support. I don't know. This is Jerry. I don't think it's happening anymore. Maybe though. That could still work. This could still work. I want to see it happen again, because that was Velocity's best
I don't think Velocity showed us this morning what they were talking about. I think this is going to be
This is going to be what they were talking about?
Because I asked him, I was like, is it going to be in the second game? And he misunderstood me. He's like, no, it'll be our first game, but they were the second game of the day. But I think in the end, they decided to just go and overall the second game they had.
Jace would work very well if they used him as like a mid laner in their push-poke composition that they brought out. This is going back many months. Because all that team did is try to shove up all the lanes and just push turrets all the time, but never engage. It was just like a full AD range, kite around, and just kill people everywhere. Very, very fun.
And Echo wasn't a part of that, the team during that. And what we haven't seen from Echo is he did throw out some Nidalee, but he also plays Lux, which, if we don't know where most of this composition is going, could still be available.
Yeah, they really need the Janna for this to work, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, if they go for the strat.
Yeah, one of the reasons it worked. What are they doing? It's 180 carry. What's this last support going to be? It's going to tell us everything.
Will it, though?
It's in Italy.
It did go with the Nidalee.
Tell us much.
Interesting.
They're doing it. Just a different version of it. It's more poke heavy right now. So this means, I'm saying jungle Ezreal, most likely. They could do jungle Singed, that's a thing. Probably not. Jungle Ezreal, top Singed. Support Nidalee, and Jace mid, most likely. But then it'll be a little different than normal, because in the old days, Ezreal would go mid with Janna once picking up double buffs, and Janna would essentially turn into a support. I haven't paid any attention to Vulcan's composition, by the way. It's a whole new thing.
They're doing regular things.
Yeah.
What is this?
Velocity is actually not picking the strongest wave clear possible. Mancloud has a little bit of wave clear on Diana, but if Velocity comes with really fast pushing, if they did have a jungle Ezreal, they would become a little bit vulnerable.
Oh, man.
The last pick is the true counter, because they recognize how heavily AD-focused Velocity has become.
AD focused and poke focused. What's the best way to demolish a poke composition?
Yeah.
You dive directly at it.
Just unstoppable force their faces. And it usually works. So Velocity has picked a lot of strong initiation, which will make the later game much more difficult for Velocity, but it doesn't solve any of Vulcan's problems in the early game. They're basically going to have to survive right there. This is... Come on, I like this Velocity.
Vulcan's on a 7-game winning streak, and we saw Velocity earlier, with having fun, play differently, play more organized in a lot of their grouping, and the fights actually started to go in their favor for quite some time. Can they break the momentum of Velocity now with this different composition to come into play? It looks
Maybe Vulcan's...
The poke is with them. I was actually thinking, are they jungle? Because I was like, why don't they just run the support, a support Ashe? You've seen it. A support Nidalee, obviously. We'll have to see.
No.
You are staring directly at before it goes off the screen.
No, that's because it's a jungle. It's because it's a jungle Singed.
I could have. Saint does that quite a bit. I mean, a lot of people do that quite a bit. But to just pull out a name, Saint has absolutely done that on his stream.
Pretty happy
his
about
jungle
this.
allergies.
Pretty happy about this. It's absolutely a jungle Singed. Maple Street is AD Jace, and Evaniscus is support Ashe.
We have to think of how much NK Inc. is kind of the pioneer of what the team does with the ideas to come out. It was him and previous... Who was it before with him that came up with the strat? Now that I can't recall it. I'm glad I put both of us on the spot.
Yeah, thanks, man. Vile Rose was pretty big in that, because he would play the Janna.
See if they can get it to come out. Velocity... Actually, it was Prolly, because Prolly used to be on...
Oh, yeah.
Bam. It took me a second. Brain just had to get cooking. Last day of Super Week has everybody going. Yeah.
Saved us a whole bunch of anger tweets. Good work.
All right, here we go. On to the Rift, ladies and gentlemen. Velocity Esports versus Vulcun, the V's. Who has the stronger one?
That is a very good question.
Yeah.
Caught me taking a drink right there. But we have some amazing stuff coming in this game because the jungle singed is not something we have seen in the LCS here. I think NK Inc. is going to be looking to be as kind of distraction man, almost never be with the team, and always try to split push. I almost expect him to try to do like the carry jungler type thing with him, but not actually fight people, only get farmed and push around. Whereas everyone else on Velocity is just looking to poke as much as possible.
And what an annoying lane that Ashe lane becomes as Ashe support.
Support Ashe is really strong in lane.
With that new passive, you kind of get your attack up a little bit more.
You get a lot
more harassy.
It's much improved for this specific case because he's not going to be attacking much at all. So meaning almost all of his harass can be volley plus an auto attack since Vulcun has no sustain in their lanes. It's going to be pretty important.
It's pretty interesting to point out, though, both those, whatever sticks in the AD carry support lanes is going to stick besides the potions they bring. We heard previously Link talking about Nidalee in the game, how much of a game changer it is, how much that little heal can change the game. So at least they are bringing that towards the later
or the big spear
of the fight. Or the big
I mean, think about it. Think about this. If Evaniscus lands an Ashe arrow, a max range Nidalee spear with a shock blast and an Ezreal ult will kill someone.
Whoop.
That's not a good start.
I'm going to go ahead and say it didn't take E first. Had to use that summoner spell.
No, he started Q to scout some bushes, and NK Inc. really needs this blue buff. Zuna and Bloodwater are doing their best to take away the small guys. They traded 1-1, but that still means Echo's not getting level 2 for this. NK Inc.'s not getting level 2 for this. This has been a great little bit of harass by Zuna and Bloodwater.
And seeing Chris there means they don't have to go to the lane.
Smithy can just steal this now.
No, yeah. I was going to say, he's just going to smite it away. This is awesome harass, and if they get it, it'd be perfect. But now they will.
Yeah, Smithy was called the best carnivore jungler in the game by his teammates, Psycho Sid, yesterday. He was going to be a little bit carnivorous right there if NK Inc. decided to stick around, but instead, he's still level 1 and is going to have to solo this blue buff. This will be the one Psycho Sid can't stop because it would be a 3v1 harass, but it's still very good early game harassment by Vulcun to at least delay the amount of pushing the Velocity would want to do with this strategy.
And it's been interesting to hear teams, as we come into Super Week and we talk less about the games directly when we interview them, but of the play style, and to hear that so many junglers like Meteos and a few others will only leave the jungle when they directly think it'll be a kill.
I love that style of jungling.
Or they know it's going to be something like this.
Yeah, jungling to me is all about efficiency, and that's what Meteos lives off of. That's what NK can't be right now. He can't be efficient once he got counter jungled like that, and he's really just trying to catch up at this point.
And really, out of any jungler, you're going to have to go with Singe being an annoyance. It's not a first sure kill every time you come into lane. A lot of pressure. So how do you play that?
Sorry, I got distracted by the very low turret. This
is
going to be the fastest turret of the week. I think they're going to be able to get this one despite the early game armor buff.
That's true.
Just because NK Inc. hasn't been bothering to babysit because he's been trying to catch up. And if he does come through, Smithy would kill him. So that's a sub 4-minute turret, which is the first turret we've seen taken down before 4 minutes this week since the turret changes.
And they completely own that side of the jungle. Smithy's been there from blue to the turret, now Wolves without any scare.
Yeah, he has been going wherever he wants. And just to bring up some turret stats that we had, not counting the games today, but the games through the last 2 days, average first turret in the first 8 weeks of the North American LCS was 8 minutes and 8 seconds. In the first 12 games of this week, it was 10 minutes and 38 seconds, so 2.5 minutes later on average. But that did not stop Vulcun from that one because they had such a long 3v1 laning phase that since they were just able to wail on the turret for extra wave after wave, they were still able to take it down.
Pressure already second tier turret. 1 in the favor of Vulcun means they have denied a bit of vision towards that top side. We'll have to see if they decide to switch up where the AD carry and support go now. As Psycho Sid isn't doing too bad, 13 in his lane to that 33 of Jace. But it's 7 over Ezreal. We see Echo taking some good damage in middle there. ManCloud trying to pull him back in with a vacuum, but does not get the kill.
Echo's actually maxing his spear right now on that Nidalee, just trying to get as much harass through ManCloud as possible and not worried about healing up for sustain. Velocity really wants to make something happen, because if Vulcun gets out of this first 15 minutes of the game or so and then can really start hard initiating, it's going to mean huge problems for Velocity when they start trying to poke Vulcun out.
So we talked about it a little before, right as Vulcun started going for that top turret, but as we look back at NK Inc., what kind of options are you left with a jungle Singe to help your team out?
He needs a lot of time, mainly. If he can ward up a bit, he can maybe avoid xSmithy coming to kill him.
Always.
But he didn't have wards.
Oh.
That is a very good recall by NK Inc. Because he was definitely dying if he tried to run through for double golems. That's one of those efficiency versus danger balances right there for NK. Because he had his smite up, and he knew if he would have went for his double golems, by the time he killed those, his race probably would have been up, and he could have done like one more cycle of the jungle and then shopped. But he was low, and he knew they had no idea where xSmithy was, and he knew how aggressive xSmithy was, so he decided to be a little bit inefficient because it was too risky. And it turned out to be the right choice.
Looks like the AD carries have met, and they will be in that top lane.
Oh, a Singe
Finally
game.
getting some help here for Chris. Oh, Echo! ManCloud playing Diana this game. We've seen Scar bring it out recently, and it was shied away from because of its all-in, but working perfectly in this matchup here.
I'm going to be honest. That Singe gank was a little underwhelming. He's not level 6 yet. Oh no! Again! No!
Boom! Safeguard in! Crippled! That's what happens when your knees break! You can't run so fast! Diana! ManCloud going all in with xSmithy to get that first blood.
That was like a delayed counter gank, because they recognized where NK Inc. came from, and xSmithy, he's so good at tracking where the other jungler goes, he just assumed he'd go to the thick part of his jungle where he'd have 2 camps, just waited for him and killed him.
And you say that he kind of tells where he's going. With the last recall, with being there for the blue, and then knowing he could take wolves, he is 4 steps ahead of the game right now. Maple Street by himself in the bottom lane. We haven't seen AD carry Jace, besides Sneaky, I believe, with Cloud9 in the first week. So this coming out, these guys trying to go with that as well. A lot of double AD carry being played this week.
Yeah, it's coming back a little bit. Vulcun definitely had another successful version of it against TSM earlier today. And that means they know how to play against it as well. The Diana plus Malphite makes things so hazardous for Velocity. They're almost triple AD carry if you count the support. And ManCloud is going to be able to do that a lot this game.
That was awesome. ManCloud hitting his ultimate right before that Crescent hit, and he was still able to get the refresh. Picks up another one with the help of Zuna on the backside of that. And for having a bit of a late game team, they're doing everything they need to really early.
And that was the record for ManCloud. 160 kills. Starts the game, no messing around. Yay!
Crowd stands
This is
up.
where we like stop the game and give him like
he comes out of the club
of Chris's Ezreal.
Shakes his hat.
That's his keepsake.
Maple Street! Trying to stay alive here. The Ignite will not take him down, but he does run away, taking a gasp of breath. NK Inc. doing what he can behind enemy lines right now. Nobody really wants to toy with him just yet, but that true damage is sure going to sting. He seems to not want to have fun with Zuna. Coming out here, Smithy trying to get that cripple down onto him after the Tempest, but you can see he's still kind of creating a little bit of trouble.
He's trying to. Velocity, to put it lightly, has not had a very good start to this game. Once they group up and try their first turret siege, we'll really start seeing if they're able to get it going. But I don't even know if they're going to get to that point. xSmithy can easily outsmite. Oh, the Ash Arrow!
The arrow! Yeah! NK Inc. ducks really quick as xSmithy takes a pie to the face there.
Don't keep chasing.
And they are going to go. His poison's still on. You are running out of mana, sir. And he will also run out of the blue buff area.
But he got it.
He did
get it. Got the blue. That's...
I like how he danced under it, so he couldn't really click on him or hit him with a Q and follow up anything after. This is little witty tricks.
That's a positive play there for Velocity, so they need a lot more of those. They're still down 1 turret to 0, and they need to start setting up some type of turret sieging potential. You can actually look, Maple Street has farmed very well. We haven't seen any of him at all because we've just been following around xSmithy and all the action he's been creating. But 74 minion kills to 59 on Zuna is a pretty substantial edge, and they need to get those tiers going. 3 tiers needs a lot of ramp-up time.
We're gonna have to see if they can get that support. 11.7 to 13.7. So that 2K gold lead resting on the shoulders of Zuna, Bloodwater, and the rest of Vulcun. But right now they're using that as momentum. It is not weighing them down at all. We'll see Psycho Sid meet up with Chris in the top lane, and these guys have the advantage. Besides Echo, if you can dodge spears, they can kind of just build full armor out in this game.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're going to be going for. Look for Psycho Sid. If this game goes 40 minutes, I'm going to say he's going to have 350 armor, at least. Because he's going to want to be building Randwinds, Frozen Heart, and maybe even a Thornmail. Sunfire Cape will be his first.
Right.
But then after that, just all those things. And when he presses his W to multiply his armor, it gets silly. Speaking of bad situations.
Oh, Unstoppable Force, he hits up! He does still have the Arcane Shift. He's trying to get through the minions, but the slow from the Seismic Shard really keeping him in as Psycho Sid steals his movement speed. There it is. There's the next Q as they continue to chase. The red buff is on as well. And he throws out the Cyclops Eye before he goes down.
Yeah. Unfortunate for Chris there. Just a timely gank by Vulcun. I feel like Vulcun can be a bit on cruise control right now, but look out! That's why you don't want to be on cruise control.
Yeah, they tell you never to be on cruise control.
Yeah.
There's Zuna trying to get away from this one. He gets the condemn out, flashes over, flipped back into his turret, flopped back the other way, and a little bit of ping-pang.
That was an alley-oop.
It was.
Yeah.
Too bad he didn't to the skies right there, and it was over.
Yeah, that would have been nice. But because of that extended gank, we're going to catch actually the kill ManCloud had on Echo as Vulcun takes down some of the other turrets. This is the danger of going tier first, like no defense in Italy, against a melee like ManCloud, because he can just spike you down with brute force, really.
I do that sometimes.
It's
kind of like you have a ton of money, but you haven't gone back to buy, and it seemed like Echo thought he could just clear out those minions, turret aggro onto ManCloud, and then spear, and that would be a great win. But he did like 25%, and ManCloud was like, really?
It's like, was that a really good idea?
Then he went back and bought his Fiendish Codex for that little bit of AP damage he didn't have. So unfortunate. I definitely see what happened there.
Something to note is ManCloud right now is 55 magic resist on Diana, so those spears definitely aren't hitting that hard because there's only 5 magic penetration on Echo right now since he went for the split penetration runes. Echo's got to get at least a little bit of magic pen if he wants those spears to actually beat ManCloud, especially if he's going to be turret diving like that.
And a lot of it, that is almost, you know, even a plus more must because of the no initiation they have. It's all poke. The way that Vulcun, Mandatory Cloud specifically used to use Nidalee and Link is to start off the fight with the other team having half HP. And when it's the other way around, he's still doing damage there.
That spear was pretty nice.
That was nice. So they may still have it, but that's what they're looking for. They're going to have to poke before they fight.
All right, this is their poke start.
This is it.
Look at how many Velocity members are in mid lane right now. They're trying to get as much damage down as possible as Vulcun collapses in. Now keep track of how low the initiators all Vulcun get for whether they're going to go in or not. ManCloud and Psycho Sid are the two big people here.
Oh, they're just going. Line, it's dodged out. ManCloud does go. Out. Psycho Sid with the Unstoppable Force, but ManCloud's already used his ultimate, so it's all about vacuuming in, keeping the fight going. Psycho Sid for the peel. They're on to Avaniscus. That's the support, but they still take him down. Chris now, not much damage onto him either. They're sitting on the tiers and a few long swords. NK Inc., really the chaos of the fight. Like you said, he has not had enough time to get where he wants. Echo again going down to the hands of ManCloud.
Ooh, and that was a 3-for-0 in a 4v5 for Vulcun. Gotta say that fling NK Inc. did wasn't doing Echo any favors because it saved NK Inc., but he just actually flipped ManCloud into Echo so he get his 4th kill of the game.
What we said they needed, the dive comp to the poke comp. Those few steps up to the turret looked great. They did over 1,500 damage to 3 champions on the team, and the first initiation was their downfall, so they got a position better than that.
With this velocity composition being so squishy, and especially a support Ashe who uses the Ashe arrow before the fight goes, they are nothing once they get engaged upon. And because there's so much long distance initiation from Vulcun, it doesn't work well for velocity. Vulcun can pretty much, if Psycho Sid lands a Malphite ult on 2 or more, likewise with ManCloud, if he can just land his vacuum on 2 or more, I think Vulcun will win every single one of those fights.
Wow, straight on to Avaniscus. He actually used his ultimate to close the gap. He may get the kill with the Ignite down. He will find it. And it looks like they're going to have to put some defense towards mid now and consider this.
Yeah, that was just as soon as he saw someone he dove on because there's nothing punishing him right now There's no supports to, you know, catch him in a route other than a super long cooldown Ash arrow, which can stun him. There's no mage that's going to spike him out or stun him when he comes in. There's complete freedom right now for what Vulcun wants to do. So this seems like a good idea for NKing. I don't think it... he's going to try to run away.
Oh, the Condemn is going to push him. Yep.
All right.
He goes for the slow there.
What's your game,
It's going to be big. He's go all the way down to the bottom side. He's going to get a little bit of HP on this.
Fight in the jungle himself as well.
It's quite a bit of time that goes off of that execution. I think he's good by now. True Shot Barrage coming across. They're trying to help him get away. Zuna takes him down. The fight in front of us now. Stranglethorns popping it down. No. Chris falls. They try to get the Ash volley down to kite this one out, but Psycho Sid, Malphite, such a good chaser. One more shot here on Echo, but he denies the vision in the next brush.
Things are going very well for Vulcun right now. It looks like they're going to end the season on an absurd winning streak, and at this point, they're really trying to pad ManCloud's stats, is what I'd be doing if I was Vulcun right now. Give him as many kills as possible, make sure Bloodwater's in the kills. Ouch.
Shots fired.
Sometimes, when people get hit like that, I'm physically pained. I'm just like, ooh, that really would hurt if you were in Italy right now.
Diana gives you no room to breathe. It's like that Xmithie on Lee Sin and ManCloud on Diana is the complete rush down composition, especially you got Malphite coming in next. And that happening, I think it's what, 21 seconds right now for her? 15.2 seconds for her ultimate, and it's refreshed if the Q's already hit, so you can see the damage she is doing. Being ahead, ManCloud looking to make that score a little harder to catch for everybody else next split.
Yeah, that puts him at, what, 164 kills right now for the split?
6 on 58.
Zuna, this is round 2. I don't think it's going to be as... Oh, nice flip!
Oh, he jumped right out of it, and he gets the kill. Smiles all around. I think he's actually saying nice. That was pretty nice.
That was a good flash.
Yeah, he typed it out. Not worth, but nice. Oh, they are all over the place. Whose jungle is this? It's Vulcan's jungle is what they are saying.
It is very clearly Vulcan's jungle.
They have put posts up right now. Not for sale. Cannot be bought.
No. It doesn't stop Velocity from going back in there again and again, though.
They have to fight.
They want to go in there.
They have a composition to start, like we said, that fight off with
they need to
everybody being low.
Yeah. They need to poke. Zuna is doing his own thing. Psycho Sid is very strong right now. And ManCloud is just like randomly jungling. I think he's farming up a little bit. I'm waiting, I think, for a very quick Vulcun victory. I think this one's gonna be quick rip. Bold prediction right here.
Give me a time.
25 minutes.
All right, you heard it, Reddit.
Yeah. Jet doesn't know what he's talking about.
30,000 gold in the pockets of Vulcun. You know, makes that time see like it could be possible here. That's a few full items as they are. 7,000 gold in the lead right now.
Oh!
He stayed alive for quite some time, longer than he probably should have.
He was trying to showcase his Vayne mechanics, but he missed auto-attacked one of those. I think he hit the wrong target because they were standing on top of each other. Yep.
13-3, almost coming up on to 20 minutes here. We will have no surrenders this day on the last week of the LCS and NA. 5-1 in turrets, and it's not really the outer turrets going. Besides the bottom one, there it is. They have all three. Now they can go around the horn of the base, and their jungles, 2 jungles to farm now.
They have 3 quadrants of the jungle right now. Zuna tried to get control of the 4th, but he was repelled by the velocity attack. Let's take a look at this duel. He was trying to keep his attacks on Maple Street, but I didn't catch it right. Yes, he dodged the Ash Arrow by getting hit away, but I think he started attacking NK. Yeah, he hit NK once. He hit NK once, and that dropped his attack chain on Maple Street.
Man, that's a frustrating thing. It's when all the teammates run on each other and jump on each other. You're like, I couldn't click the right person. Damn it. That gold lead slowly growing in favor of Vulcun. It may slowly be growing, but they've already found a big gap to put in between them and Velocity here. Map control is theirs, and they're taking fights as they come. They're not too worried about it, but Velocity's not playing scared. So it's still Vulcun having to situate these fights correctly. They're just coming out on top because of that item difference here.
Yeah. NK is trying to be as big a distraction as possible right now. I think it's working pretty well.
The max range Q to the resonating strike.
He's really fast.
Boom. Oh, safeguard. Throws down. Got the cripple.
The energy.
Then hit the Tempest.
Yeah.
One more.
One more
Hit
Q.
the Q. Oh, he didn't activate it in time. We all wanted to see it happen. Dodges the roots. Goes back and
up.
forth. Oh, from 2 furlongs behind, it's going to be Psycho Sid coming up around the corner.
ManCloud died in the mid lane, and this is actually a good move for Velocity being able to get this turret. I'm going to go out on a limb, say that Psycho Sid ultimate was unnecessary.
A little bit. You could absolutely say that. They didn't need to go for a for sure kill already, but looks like it may hurt them on denying this turret. Xmithie from the other side hits up onto Maple Street. There's still a good bit of damage there with the ADCs.
And they don't actually have their initiation right here to stop it, because ManCloud is dead and Psycho Sid used his ultimate to KS. So Velocity actually has a legitimate push here for at least a little while.
Psycho Sid taking a bit
Xmithie.
From behind, Xmithie kicks in Evaniscus. They take out anything that he could do. The Flash Ignite down actually after getting kicked. And we're going to have to see if they can continue on this fight. They're not pinched right now, but it is Velocity trying to figure out a way back to their team.
Psycho Sid has built the Shard of True Ice. Yes. He put it on. He put it on Xmithie to help him out with that one. He's just like, yes, I did KS, but it was only so I could afford my Shard of True Ice.
Is that our first one?
It's the first one in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like MIA built one or something back in the day.
It's one of the only upgrades of gold per 10 items that maintains the gold per 10. So he's still getting 4 gold per 10 seconds. Also, he's granting nearby allied champions 5 mana regen per 5 seconds because this item builds out of a mana manipulator. And the unique active surrounds an ally with a blizzard for 4 seconds that will slow any movement by 30%. So it's actually like a very small Lulu ult on someone persistently, and it's only on a 60-second cooldown. So that's what Vulcan's going to want to do to chase down all those squishy guys on Velocity. They only got 3 minutes left if they want to keep to that 25 minutes.
According to Jat, or Dream Jat, who knows?
Dream Jat would have gotten that prediction
Dream
right.
Jat would have absolutely gotten that prediction right. NK Inc. taking some good damage from Psycho Sid here. That's not going to last long, though.
But again, it did stop the Malphite ultimate from coming in. The problem is they're going to kill Bloodwater. The problem is ManCloud wants to fight this as well, and I wonder how many people he's going to try to take on by himself.
It's a lot of 1-on-1 / 2-on-1 joining assassinations. There was kind of a 3-party. Back to the 1-on-1. Here comes Xmithie, the 2, then the 3. 3's a crowd. Double kill coming in. Mandatory Cloud extending that record.
8-1. Nice moves.
Very nice moves. Looks like they may try to go for a 4-man Baroon.
I believe so, Riv.
They will. Indeed.
Haven't heard that one before.
From both sides, all 5 members playing League of Legends.
They might get this one. I don't think that Velocity is going to be able to contest this, unfortunately. This game has really gotten out of hand.
It has.
Yeah.
A little bit, but a lot of it. Baron is now in the hands of Vulcan. Xmithie was able to get that down. He got a for sure smite on it. True Shot Barrage coming across a little wee late there. It looks like they're going to be able to resituate. No, that's down. We'll see if it can keep being NK Inc. playing the nuisance role here and causing chaos whenever he can. Here we go again.
He's not worth that much gold anymore. So anytime Xmithie tries to chase after him, he's really just kind of prolonging the game. This is what people used to call the proxy sin strategy. It's just he's doing it out of the jungle. And this is a real thing that has worked occasionally. There was a couple players that took this to Diamond 1. It doesn't work so much anymore because bounties don't decrease as quickly as of a couple patches ago. But the strategy is, ManCloud is 4v1v4ing right now.
Don't worry about it.
He's going to die.
What were you talking about again?
Yeah, he's dead. The Singe strategy actually kind of can work for a team. By dying so much, you're increasing the enemy team's bounties a whole lot. And you're keeping your minion kills higher. So ideally, you're out farming and the rest of your team is able to do things while you're dying. But then when your team does get kills, they're worth more gold. I don't think it's going to work for Velocity, though.
Xmithie taking some damage. Maple Street, he's getting some power on him. That Miramana finished up now. Evaniscus goes down. A little bit more cash for the Rock. And it looks like Zuna will pick up 2 kills for himself in the roundabout fight.
It only works if it's only the Singe dying. The rest of the team has to stay alive. Shucks.
That engagement going a bit awry.
Yep.
Look at these items coming out here. Smithy trying to go for that Tiamat. Usually see some Lee Sins building that up if they're having a better than good game.
I see Voyboy go Ravenous Hydra to like Last Whisper, Ravenous Hydra to Bloodthirster on top lane Lee Sin all the time, and just really try to take over the game. Smithy could do it on this because no one on Velocity has that much money right now, and he's able to pretty much duel almost anyone if he just goes damage.
Saris Embrace with the Morello Namicon. You got to finish one word before you start the next. That's what Echo is trying to bring out here. The Morello trying to get all of those spears out as fast as possible and as much as possible, as well as the Saris Embrace for if anything goes wrong, but that was so right. Can they make it count? They have the kite down onto him. The slow is there. He's going to turn around, put down the Blade of the Rune King, but
somebody
also
help him.
Half of his health chunked out there. We got NK8 coming from the other side. He's going to have to plaster over the wall, give him the good flip. He gets it back. More of that crowd control coming in. Kizuna, I was going to say, you guys have his number. Got to take him down. Psycho Sid on the backside. Evaniscus could be going down once again to him. That ultimate to finalize the kill and keep it on. Shard of True Ice. Maple Street gets just in range. Oh, he gets kicked away with the Dragon's Rage. But back in with the 1,000 range resonating strike.
And that was actually a shutdown. Maple Street had a full bounty there. He's 5-2 on Jace.
He's done wreaking
as this
havoc.
chaos just keeps happening.
He's actually one of the members that is focusing down Smithy in these fights when he can, trying to... It's kind of funny. He's one of the AD carries, but he's helping peel for Chris, helping peel for Echo as well, being the AD carry. It's a different composition.
Velocity is pulling, or trying to pull right now, a very tricky tactic that some people have adopted in solo queue. It's where you hope the other team gets so casual about things that they start making very dumb decisions and you start coming back in. Vulcun has already fallen for this trap. It's just a matter of, is it going to pay off for Velocity? Because like Vulcun is not doing smart things right now because they are completely relaxed in this game. And the gold lead is surprisingly only 10,000, 27 minutes in, which based on how easy everything has seemed for Vulcun, means the game is actually a little closer than they would realize. And they should actually take a little more seriousness into this if they want to be able to close this game out.
They still hold that potential damage. It is going to come from Jace because, as we said, Maple Street is 5-2-3, but you're going to get the same damage from a 5-2-3 Jace as you do from that Nidalee Spear of 1, 4, and 5. So
yeah,
within the next 15 minutes, that'll start to not happen as much because of then the magic resistance and whatever Vulcun will have the money to buy being that far ahead in core items. So Velocity does have to work a little faster at this point.
The nice thing, though, is NK Inc. is still doing his thing. I don't think he can escape Zuna. No.
He's going in the base.
Yeah, he's going to try it again.
He's off.
Yeah, Zuna's like,
just go. Just go.
This means that Vulcun is at least trapped into 4v4.
Where's he going? He can see everybody on the map.
He's taking 2 waves.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he's connecting them up to the Nexus.
He's trying to get 2 waves. He missed 1. But if he just stays in there and no one comes back, he has no reason not to just keep getting 2 waves. He's trying to create as much problems as possible since he's not worth money yet.
He's lonely. He's saying, pay attention to me, please. He is getting a little bit of attention from Zuna. We'll have to see that triggers for him. Zuna with the home guard, so he is going to be able to get a little bit of aggression. Twin Shadows comes out. The Spooky Ghost could have been enough. And it definitely will be.
He's gone. For now. Hold on. He's taking a good angle. Nice juke.
Yeah. Straight away.
Good job.
They're all like, he's going to stay in the jungle and toy with us. Let's look for him. No, he's gone. Maybe that's their toy now.
If Vulcan's not careful, this could turn rough.
It's going to be crazy.
I was way off
if
on
that
25 minutes, by the way.
No, we'll just say it didn't happen.
Yeah.
That was Dream Jet.
I meant something else, and I'll tell you in a few minutes.
That's what I was, yeah. I totally knew that. That's why I didn't question. Baron is up in 1 minute and 12 seconds, as you see on the screen. So everybody get your hands ready to clap for that as it comes up.
Vulcun has them contained right now, actually. As long as NK Inc. doesn't make it out past anyone from Vulcun, Vulcan's going to dive them right here, up the mid lane and try to get the kills.
Flip backwards, flip forwards. Zanya's in place.
Velocity's going to lose that mid inhibitor.
Man Cloud, wow. They're really not trying to go home whatsoever because they know it has to be how. There it is to the skies, back and forth. Wow.
1v2. And then 4v0 in the mid lane as they're just pushing down that inhibitor. See, Velocity, aside from their poke, it's not like they can engage on anything
Look at this poke, though. It's good.
Mercy.
Do something now.
What are they going to... Ash Arrow is on cooldown?
It is. It is. It's always easier to say than do.
If they get into a fight, they will lose.
You're getting all antsy. It's like watching somebody play a sport, and you're like kicking your legs and moving your arms. You're like, damn it.
Oh, it's up.
Felt the breeze.
It's a nice follow by the camera.
It's a nice follow by the team. They were trying to get the rebound. Nothing there. So at this point now, we have one wave for Vulcun that's actually past the river. Velocity again finding the strength and numbers to get themselves out of the base somehow. They have an inhibitor down. Or inhibitor turret,
yeah, Vulcun
rather.
didn't even get the inhibitor there.
No,
the
it's
poke
half health.
Did repel them from the base.
The Baron is alive. So with the push that Velocity have, they're actually sitting okay. They just have to be careful of where Velocity is if there's an attempt here.
Ravenous Hydra completed for
Bing,
Smithy.
Bing, bang, boom. He also has his Jungle Gem Ruby Sight.
Death Cap completed by ManCloud. That's the real scary one.
With more armor, just because.
Because if I look at Velocity right now, there's only one person on that team that's built a magic resist item. It's not good.
They're definitely putting Glass Cannon into a whole different meaning, or all your eggs in one basket. Looks like we're going to have a two-man Baron here. Actually, Psycho Sid joining the party. They have the arrow. We still got some dirty farming going on by NK Inc. in that bottom lane. He's trying to get past. A little too early. Yeah. But they're still going to attempt. They could get some good spears in here.
Yeah, here comes the fight, maybe. All right. No.
No. There, NK Inc. definitely has somebody coming for him, though, right now.
Not yet.
Ooh.
Vulcun doesn't care.
See, they're even playing smart. That's what you're talking about. They are remembering a little bit.
Here's the next challenge. I don't think it's possible to proxy 3 waves at once. Because he's got an opportunity to try.
Can
Vulcun's going to be ending the game, by the way. Okay, he's going for 2. He's just got... You can only go for 2. That in itself is actually very difficult.
Zuna in the back line. He has had a good game for himself, being that late game vein. Getting late game quite early for himself. 7-3-1. And even coming out on Zuna, he has the static shiv himself, which means adding that push to the kit, meaning Vulcun wants to get this one done.
Oh, ManCloud does not delay. They're going in with no minions here since Singe took them all.
Looking for the inhibitor turret. Psycho Sid is huge, but they're all taking turret shots. Zuna just took 2 to the face. They have some plans. Here comes NK Inc. If he attacks, that means he's going to lose it. Unstoppable Force out, which means everything has almost been used in defense. ManCloud is flipped, but that gives him an entry to the back line. Will he use it? Great volleys coming out from Evan. Niscus is keeping them at bay. The hawk shot not going to kill anybody. Mandatory Cloud runs. They still have sight from the bushwhack. That's up to 9 seconds. The dodge is there. Echo still trying to chase. There is no brush for that Nidalee to hit until now, and that chase can continue.
Yeah, and Vulcan's going to fight them here because they've healed up.
Turns around, turns the key, and ignites the fire. Chris is the next one to go down. ManCloud throws on the shield. The 3 orbs are broken, so he gets it back, but it's not enough.
Zuna, where are you?
Continue. Here comes Zuna from the right side. Tumbles in for 1. Can he tumble for 2? And the third one looks like it's going to scramble away.
Zuna took the long way around right there, and it ends up costing Vulcun 2 kills, but that's still a 4 for 2, and the minions have finally arrived. They might get inhibitor number 2.
They were hungry for that fight and actually kited it the entire lane. A very nice job by Vulcun. Velocity doing everything they could without having a true initiator.
Yeah, that was their best effort at that point. After... Oh dear.
Oh no.
No, bye.
Oh, Zuna man. He's so calm and collected there.
Yeah. It's very unlike him.
Very unlike him.
Yeah.
He's in the zone. He just knows it. All of these guys pretty close to a final form. The Zanya's on top of that Guardian Angel is going to make ManCloud very hard to reckon with. Since he just died, he bought that Guardian Angel. So coming up with it, the next push is going to be very big for Vulcun and tough to stop for Velocity.
Yeah, the gold lead, which was at least a little bit frozen at 10,000.
Right.
It's now been blown open. It's 16K. 3 completed Zeal items for Zuna. He's got the double Femme Dancer and the Static Shiv.
Tiny Dancer. See if he can produce more kills himself. 10-3-1, 9-3-1, 7-0-8. The lanes went well for these guys. Like everybody came out of lanes really strong, and it's even harder to win a game when you know you're coming behind in every area.
Right from the very start, when they were able to take the turret early, it really put Velocity off their game plan, and even the counter jungling that happened to NK Inc. delayed his ability. This is not going to be a good fight for Velocity.
Evaniscus on the backside. You said the arrow used in the beginning. It's already been used. They baited that one out to a good fight they know they had. Vision is really giving them the upper hand as they press in, and it's only a matter of time before it's those Nexus turrets.
At least NK Inc. is trying to be annoying. And no.
Ooh, Chris, that could have been scary. Looking like Maple Street going for the top lane push. He's going to go ahead and back, though. The team needs him.
Yep. Vulcun is going to push the mid lane here. I'm going to remake my prediction.
Yeah?
They're going to end it within the next 5 minutes.
Next 5 minutes?
Yep. Not going to be wrong this time.
I don't know. I think Reddit still has your number. It's going to be a quick Nexus Turret 1 going down. Vulcun versus Velocity, the flying V of Vulcun. We questioned which would be stronger at the beginning of the game. Velocity was able to find the doorway through Vulcun in the season, but not this time. They are going for kills. They're getting those KDAs. ManCloud already breaking the highest kill count in the LCS of any of the regions, along with the team as they take down the Nexus 33-14 in 36 minutes.
So this means Vulcun finishes the year. That's a 5-0 Super Week.
5-0, baby.
They're on a very large
8-win streak now.
I think it's an 8-game win streak.
Eight streak.
They have a lot of momentum going into the regional playoffs here.
And that's, you saw them there, 5-0 in Super Week.
Oh my.
It's good. I mean, this is definitely going to help their stats.
No.
Velocity knows that strategy didn't work very well.
Don't worry, guys. I got a positive score. I think that means I'm good at this game.
That was Maple Street.
Maple Street.
He did have a positive score. That's all that matters.
He played really well, and he played confident on champions that he didn't bring to the LCS. He played confident on Kennen. Like I said, he was still going in with ultimates like he was the AP carry, even though it's like, you don't expect the Kennen to do a ton of damage with the auto attacks when he's AD, so it kind of throws you off guard.
It throws you for a loop.
But then it also throws you off guard when a Slicing Maelstrom doesn't do a damn thing when he gets into the fight, and you're like, oh wait, no, that's just a stun bot.
That's a bad thing.
But it's really cool. Earlier, I was talking to QC to continue that story, and when they were at the Nexus and they were fighting and they had the previous game they played, he's like, abandon ship, abort, abort, we're going down with the ship. And you saw him at the end of that game. They lost again, but they are absolutely having fun and enjoying themselves as they should.
It shows. I mean, at least they're getting along right now, which is the hardest thing to do when you're on a last place team. Losing is not an easy thing for any team to cope with.
Nope.
And you can tell they came into this week with a different mindset of saying, regional or promotion tournament is so far away. We're going to prepare for that when it comes. Just have some fun and try some stuff.
Yeah.
It didn't work out for them, but at least they enjoyed it. So that's the story of Velocity today, basically.
And the story that they face was Cloud9's. Cloud9 had to go through relegation again, and they're the #1 team in the league now. So we'll have to see what Velocity can do in the spring split. All right, guys, we got to take a short break, but when we return, we'll be joined by LCS's record holder, ManCloud, to talk about Vulcun's perfect Super Week. And then it's time for our 6th game of the day, Team Dig and Top.